So, Rudy, you're playing some music for us. What are you playing for us right now?
One of my favorite categories is reggae. I love 12-inch reggae, original 12-inch singles from Jamaica, small labels. Look at how small that label is. That's original. And this is the dub side. No words, just that nice bass.
Right.
So that's right now. That's one of my categories, reggae 12 inches.
Wow.
I once went to a swap meet about, I think 2000 or 1999. This guy had a stack of reggae, man, stack of reggae. And I asked the guy how much he wanted for it. He said, "Give me $500." And I bought it, dude. That was the best reggae records I ever found in my life. It's just an awesome collection. That was in 99 or 2000.
Wow. So people will take years and years to have a collection, and then all around turn one day and say, "I'm going to sell it," and then you're the one that buys it.
That's it. Yeah. Well, this case, I think what happened is the guy probably lost his storage, and the people, they go to the storage and buy the storages, and they go to the swap meet and sell whatever they buy at the storage. The guy didn't know what he was selling at the swap meet. I know he didn't sell. So this probably came out of a storage. They couldn't afford it, so they had to sell it. Wow. And that's why I got this reggae collection. That's awesome.
That's amazing. Can you give us a tour of your store and show us around?
Sure. Come on in, boys and girls, kiddies. After that is our jazz section. Of course, one of the tracks you heard earlier was Richard Group Homes. Came out of this section, jazz. And we got Roy Ayers, George Duke, Gary Bartz, one of my favorites. Miles Davis, of course, Smile Miles. This is our jazz section, Degato. Me fat break on Degato. Nobody even knows it. So this is our jazz section. It's not too big. Back in the days, it was a lot bigger, but it literally got smaller because it's not in demand. It's on CD, and to me, if you're a true jazz fanatic, you have to buy it on record. It never sounds the same on CD. Now, that's my opinion. Somebody could type to you or send you a letter and say the guy's wrong.
No, I think a lot of the hip hop breaks and beats came from this section, right? From the jazz.
Jazz and soul as well, but yeah, mainly jazz. If you hear a lot of your hip hop beats like Black Moon, that was Ronnie Laws, and that's a mean break on Black Moon. They did a track from Ronnie Laws, a real mean track, just like Degato. Friday the 13th or September, I forgot the date on that, but that's the name of the track, and it's a mean fat beat break, and the kids just go bonkers when they hear that drum breaks. So you're right, a lot of them came from jazz. You're right.
Right.
What trips me about the jazz, these rappers like Dr. Dre and Pete Rock, they had to sit in their house and play these records. They didn't play CDs. They played the records. They were looking for that track they wanted to hit for that hip hop jam. They had to play that needle and play those records day in and day out, day in and day out. And they found their success.
Right, and they found a specific sound or a specific, phrase in a melody or a breakbeat that kind of stuck, and they looped it over and over again, and they had created a song.
Like the one that trips me out is Notorious B.I.G. was Biggie, Can't You See How You Hypnotize? Yeah. That one track. When that song came out, they came to my record store in Jerusalem. They would say, "Hey, Rudy, what's that jam that Biggie Smalls using by Hypnotize?" And nobody could catch it.
Jerry knows it, right?
Herb Alpert Rise.
Herb Alpert
Rise was a big disco hit in 1979. And in England, they put it on the 45 speed to make it disco-ish. Here in America, they kept it on 33. And like you said, all they did was loop that one part. Made a big, major hit for Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotize. So there you're right. And then behind you, of course, what made us successful in the 90s, was K-Rock. K-Rock flashbacks. Then we got over here. This is category we don't sell as much. We got heavy metal, sells pretty good. As long as it's rare, they'll buy it. If it's common, they don't buy it. The biggest ones in heavy metal is Iron Maiden and Metallica. You can never quit selling those. Those are the biggest. Well, I put that into rock. So, yep.
Do you think because of pop culture, like say the release of Iron Man, they probably brought Black Sabbath into the foray to the younger audience?
Right. Exactly. Yep, you're right. Exactly. I think if anybody gets credit for all that metal, it should be Ozzy Osbourne. He put it on the 1970 with Black Paranoid. That was the album to me that's metal. I think Ozzy was before his time, and he put it out. He brought out metal like it is right now. I think the godfather of metal should be Ozzy. Like I said, somebody could email and say, tell the old man he's wrong.
Yeah, well, they'll sell it to you, not to us.
That's true. You're right.
We got Elton John, greatest hits. What do you think?
99 cents. He put too many records out. No, he's a great singer. Don't get me wrong, but he put tons of records out. And
so it doesn't matter really how popular the artists are. Is how many records there are physically in the world that determines the price.
Exactly, like Kenny Burke, right there. That one didn't sell at all. He's the one that made hip hop famous to me. Have you ever heard "All Night Long" by the Mary Jane Girls? I don't know who got that beat in the beginning. It was either him or Mary Jane Girls. But Kenny Burke didn't sell. That's $40. Big Bambooey right there, that one right there by Cheech and Chong. That record's worthless unless it has a zigzag. That one has a zigzag, and that's worth $30 because of the zigzag.
No way. All right, let's see. So that's the album itself.
See, that's what I mean when I talk about kids. They like stuff like this because here's the big record. It's supposed to be a matchbook like that, and you open it up, whomp.
Wow.
And there's a zigzag. Now, a lot of cholos like it for the audio. There's a body behind it in the paper. And you're supposed to roll your whatever you smoke,
Well, Cheech and Chong's made famous by their movies, and the bigger the joint, the better the movie, right?
Exactly. They were always into weed.
So this is an actual zigzag paper?
Original zigzag from the 70s, not a reissue. They didn't reissue with the zigzag. They kept the zigzag out. And this is the boys, and somebody likes, a lot of cholos like it for the audio. If you look real deep, you'll see some audios writing in the back.
Ah, I see.
Memory of their gang, their radio, but this is both of them, Chong and
Cheech
yeah.
So this record itself, what are we talking as far as price?
It's $18.98 because it's on discount right now. Now, if it was no zigzag, it would only be $2.
Wow.
Zigzag brings the value up because this makes the record.
Do you know of anybody who rolled that paper and smoked?
I won't say their names, but I think my mother did. No, well, most of the people that buy it buy it for memories. They
wouldn't smoke that. I mean, it's just too valuable, too much of a price, a relic.
Yeah, well, they want it for the collectors. They'll put it in a frame. Sometimes kids will buy it to see if they could really put that much weed in it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I have kids that do that, but most of them buy it for the collectors. They put it in a frame and say, "Dude, look, I got the original zigzag to this classic album." Nobody knows about the U2 one. That's a funny one there. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, now this one was banned in America because the child was showing too much. This is the import. And of course, I don't know if I have the one in America. They banned it because... Yeah. And
because they thought it was child pornography.
Look at, you see the kids' clothing, and they thought it was child pornography, so they cut it.
And today, this really isn't salacious.
No, not this one. The only one that's worth that's money is like stuff like this would be the Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland. They had nothing but naked girls showing the breasts, and that was an import. The import worth more than the Polydor. The one by Queen where the girls are on the bikes, nude. I think that's called Bicycle something. And there was one more with the girl. Oh, John and Yoko Ono. When you flip the cover, they're both butt.
They're both naked.
Yeah.
And you're looking for the Beatles albums, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for Beatles or classic rock.
What's like the rarest one that you would like to get?
Right now, I'm looking for the Beatles' the greatest hits album, the red one and the blue one, but on the red vinyl.
Oh, so the vinyl itself is red. Is it see-through or is it kind of like opaque?
It's see-through, kind of. It's the red vinyl, but with the green apple in the middle. I have the red vinyl, but the reissue. I don't want the reissue. I want the
original pressing.
I want the one with the apple in the middle.
Wow, that's amazing. How much would that cost?
I don't know. It depends. People price them differently. So.
How much are you willing to pay for that album?
Well, not too much, because I'm a college student, so I can't pay that much.
Well, I mean, is $60, $100?
I think $40 is good.
40 is your limit. After that, I'm not interested.
Because I need the blue and red one. I see. So I need both.
Right, and you see got beds, so in case somebody wants to take a nap and then jump into the digging.
In case someone's tired after, and has a whole bunch of 45.
Wow, 45s.
Like boxes and boxes of 45s.
Again, these haven't been looked at, they haven't been perused.
Yeah, people have gone through them. They just sit in here and go through them, take a nap when they get tired.
Yeah, I see that. Have you ever considered maybe cataloging them into a computer and keeping track?
Yeah, someone was telling us to do that last week, but that would take a lot of time.
A lot of time.
A lot of time, and it's so much work.
Yeah. And of course, being able to go through each song, put each name of the song, the artist, if it's a multiple artist album, and then take a picture of the album art.
Yeah, that would take a lot of work.
Huge amount of time.
Yeah, that would.
Well, you're still young. You still got about 30 years to go.
My life.
Yeah, exactly. What did you go to college for?
I am going to Rio Hondo to become a social worker.
Nice. And this goes very well with social work.
Yeah.
But no, it's an honor to have you guys here, and I hope your audience learned something about records. There's records to be found everywhere. Let me tell you one thing before you leave regarding records. If you want the record right now, you got to pay the price. You got to pay the price if you want it right now. But if you have the patience and wait for that record you want so bad, you only pay $1 for it. And that's been my experience for the last 30 years. I found a record the other day. I paid $1 for it. It was Chicano Park. And I wanted it so bad, I could have bought it on eBay for $100. I said, no, wait till I find it. And I found it for $1 the other day. So keep that in mind. If you want it now, pay the price. You want to wait, you'll get it for your price.
Patience pays off.
Patience pays off.
You know, I was going to ask you, is there something that you'd like to give as far as advice to anybody who's looking for records that's perfect? That was a perfect piece of advice.
Exactly. Just take your time. Don't pay the price. Pay attention to what you're buying. If you find a 70s album that has a code bar on it, it's a reissue. Remember, the code bars were not released in the 70s. So you find a Led Zeppelin, and it has a code bar, and you pay $30, you got fucked. It shouldn't have a code bar. It should be, I don't know, it's hard. There's a lot of, she found the Smiths for $22. They reissue the Smiths, and you can find the original for $8 at the right record store.
Wow. It's just a matter of finding and then taking your time and searching.
Taking your time. If you took a time to find your wife, you could take the time to find the right record at the right price.
Excellent. So that's marriage advice and record information all in one show, folks. Thank you very much, Rudy. It was a pleasure meeting you.